Good evening, fans and friends of High Level Rocket League. Happy Tuesday. Hope you had a fantastic Mother's Day weekend, but we are here tonight. Happy Tuesday again. 3 fantastic matches. Welcome to the LOS Champs Twitch. I am your host, Pandy, and with me tonight is Joseph. How you doing, man?
Oh, I am doing great. Looking forward to some High Level Rocket League tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be a great one. We got 3 fantastic matches for you guys tonight. The first one being Yeah No Problem and Dumb and Dumber coming out of Tier 3. This is match week 4. So we have both teams, again, with some successes. Yeah No Problem coming in at 2-1 with a 6-5 game record. Dumb and Dumber coming in at 1-2 at a 5-6 record. So, Joseph, this is a Swiss format. So both these teams have kind of seen some success. They've seen some losses throughout this season so far. So both teams are kind of looking to bounce back. Yeah No Problem with a 2-1 record, just kind of starting out a little bit stronger, whereas Dumb and Dumber may have a couple more losses, maybe some more strengths that they're gonna have to work on here tonight. But I mean, we got a lot to watch. We got about 3 hours of fantastic Rocket League. It's gonna be a great one tonight.
Absolutely. And you talk about both of these teams, you know, they're pretty even across the board, and that's the whole point of it. We want to see some good action at all times. But the one big significance that I'm seeing that there's a difference is when you look at goals scored, you have 40 goals in the back of net for Yeah No Problem. You only have 35 putting back in net at this point by Dumb and Dumber. And I mean, even though they're both giving up pretty much the exact same amount of goals as they're putting in, those 5 goal difference could be a huge difference here in this match, because, you know, those 5 could equate to that one big difference of a goal.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, both these teams, again, as we see, they're kind of only separated by a win here. But this is nearing the halfway point of the season. This is an 8-week Swiss format league of regular season. So top 16 teams make it from each tier. So both teams are kind of sitting about in the middle of the pack. Yeah No Problem sitting about the upper middle, Dumb and Dumber the bottom middle. So this is a really important matchup for both of these teams. A win is going to carry both these teams into a really helpful and really comfortable position. That is I mean, Dumb and Dumber, you're at a 1-2 record here. This marks the halfway point of the season. This week does. So a win is vital for you guys here. There's still time to work with, but when the teams and the leagues are as competitive as this, it comes down to you got to kind of look at every game that you can, and now it's kind of start grinding here. It's time to start grinding.
Absolutely, because like you stated, Dumb and Dumber really kind of needs this win so that they can really feel like they're still hanging in with the pack. If they take another loss here, it pushes them down towards the bottom. I understand it's mid-season, but right now is the time that you really want to set the tone for your team. You want to make sure that the things that maybe weren't working in the first few games are really working now, and you're building through and making sure that chemistry is holding on strong right now. You really don't want to give up big opportunities right now, and you want to make sure that you're holding down that defensive line to the best of your ability. And we'll see what happens between these teams. We're starting to get some players into the lobby now, but I'm telling you right now, depending on what happens in these games, it can change the entire outcome of what's going to happen in the season. Because one win right now for either team could either lock them at middle of the road right now, make them feel like, okay, you know, we got a little bit of work to do. You know, we've made some mistakes. But right now, if Yeah No Problem catches a victory, they jump towards the top of the pack. And then they force Dumb and Dumber towards the bottom of the pack. And that kind of really separates it a lot more. Like I said, there's 5 goals right now separating both of these teams right now. There's only 1 win, though, separating the entire line of it. So we'll see what happens when it comes down to the grits and the grind. But, you know, it's definitely going to be a matchup we're going to want to watch closely, and we're going to want to see, you know, the big things that kind of happen, the big players that stand out, because these are the players that you're going to want to continue to watch going forward. The one thing I love about this league is you never know who's going to step in and really make something happen on any given day.
Yeah, that's a great point too, because we got some really great players coming in tonight. This is tier 3. This is for about 1550-ish to about 1700. So both of these teams are going to be pretty dang good, sitting around the GC2 range. So, I mean, we're going to see a lot of physical play. We're going to see a lot of mechanics coming out from all 6 of the players tonight. And without a doubt here, I mean, all these teams, or both these teams, especially all 6 of these teams that we're going to see tonight, all players are going to be a threat on the field. So tonight, this is 2s, so it's going to be a bit quicker. It's going to be a bit more punishing on mistakes that you may see. But again, all 4 of these players are going to be fantastic, and all 4 threats. I thought it was 3s. We're here for 2s. Game 1 begins.
Hey, it's all good. That's what happens when you have players coming from every angle. We have threes, we have twos, we have, South America going. We got a lot of different things going all over the place. But the thing is that's why we love this league, is it offers a lot of options and a lot of variety. And what people got to understand is, we're always trying to get up-and-coming casters to get involved and be a part of this league. And right now, we got Pandy in the booth right now. It's going to be an amazing, amazing set of games today. And I'm really excited to have a co-caster in the booth for myself today, because my first time out here, I did not, and it should be a fun one. As we see the action already starting, we're seeing some good level of aggression coming from both teams. Squashy tries to kick it off the wall, but misses it, leaving it there for Vihaz.
SGB kind of looking for a rotation there out of the defensive end. This Dumb and Dumber team just kind of starting out in their own half so far, but once again, both teams have seen some success in the rotation aspect of the game thus far. But Steezy looking for a pass midfield. Vihaz is there on the receiving end of it. But again, folks, we apologize kind of for a scoreboard mishap we have here. Our time is being registered in seconds, but Steezy is going to strike first here about 1 minute and 4 seconds in.
Hey, that is a nice setup and a nice shot downfield. That's what you want in a game like this. You want to be able to separate the field and be able to hit those long shots when you see the opportunity. And real quick, let's just break down each team real fast. Yeah, no problem has SGB and Squashy going up against Dumb and Dumber, Steezy and Vihaz. I apologize if I'm not saying that correctly. But at the end of the day, you are a competitor, and we are here to watch you guys shine. And let's see what continues to happen here as Dumb and Dumber is currently up 1. Steezy kicks it away. Vihaz leaves it for Steezy, tries to get a pinch off the wall. They're just kind of keeping it in that back corner. Squashy tries to center it, but unfortunately his teammate is not there.
Yeah, this Yeah No Problem team has already seen a lot of success in the offensive end. They're just kind of waiting to kind of find a chance to strike on the net. Dumb and Dumber has gotten the first goal here, but we see that the pressure has kind of been in favor of Yeah No Problem. But right now, it seems like the possession, when it matters, is really in favor of Dumb and Dumber. But right now, Yeah No Problem just trying to get some rotations going, some pass plays in between the two players. Squashy there in the corner waiting for Steezy, but a pass midfield. Vihaz just can't find it. It's going to be a bump on the offensive end, but unfortunately for SGB, they just can't slot it underneath the crossbar there. But Squashy, again, backboard. A lot of pressure coming out from Yeah No Problem. The midfield dish SGB. Vihaz there once again. Good rotation there in the corner of the net. And right now, it seems like Dumb and Dumber is just playing a bit more coherent together with their rotations.
Definitely, and as you say that, SGB sneaks one in across goal. I mean, don't put your foot in your mouth too early. We just got started.
Yeah, that's a caster curse. I apologize for that one. But again, SGB, good job recognizing that net was open there on the left side. Taking advantage of that very well there. But again, tied game. Halfway through this first game. Best of 5 series once again for folks new to the stream here. But again, off the kickoff, Steezy just kind of waiting back. Maybe a midfield pass there to Vihaz, but Squashy pinch. Not going to go anywhere. Vihaz back the other way. Steezy is going to be waiting at midfield again. SGB, good clear outs. Going to give Squashy some room to work with. Plenty of boost to Vihaz. Outlet clear. But once again, interception in the neutral field is going to force him to turn back. SGB, pop on the net, 1v1 play. And SGB is going to take the first lead for Yeah No Problem.
And that is quite the turnaround that they needed. SGB getting a nice setup for himself and putting it in cross net. Yeah No Problem is now up 2-1. And one thing that I wanted to point out before SGB scored that first goal is you were talking about, field control, and that it seemed like the dominance was coming from Yeah No Problem. They're putting on a lot of pressure. And to me, it's not always about field control. It's not always about ball control that really equates it. It's more so field dominance, being able to just control the field the way that you want it. That doesn't always equate to having the ball in front of your hood. That equates to just getting the ball on the field where you want it. If you want to push it to the corner, if you want them to try to get a shot on goal because you know you can regain favorite and just boom it downfield or whatever it is you're trying to set up. Those are the things that really impresses me at these top tier level players, where they come out and they're starting to think like chess players. They're thinking 4 or 5 steps ahead. They're not just thinking about what can you do for me now. They're thinking what can I do for us later? What can I do 2-3 moves down to make sure that we're separating the field and putting us up? And Yeah No Problem is now doing a great job separating the field and putting themselves in a good position with 1:05 left on the clock.
Yeah, still plenty of time for this Dumb and Dumber team to work with. That's a great save there on the back end. Vihas almost had a chance in offense. Squashy, again, just there to get physical and take away that chance for the Dumb and Dumber offense now. But like you said, this is 2v2, so mistakes are punished a bit more. You kind of have to have a better sight of the field, better sight of players, and kind of being able to, like you said, predict that and be that one step ahead of your opponent. But Vihas is just going to have the chip just over the last defender, the double tap to boot. 38 seconds to go, and this game's tied.
A chip and a boot to see it. You gotta love it. And Squashy could not stop him. And there is Vihas right back in the game. Dumb and Dumber is 2-2, 38 seconds on the clock. Are we gonna see overtime already, or Squashy gonna make me get the caster curse? Unfortunately.
What a save on the goal line. Saves the caster curse for now. Steezy is going to be the force to keep it out of the net there. That shot was so close, but once again, 16 seconds to go. Overtime imminent here in game one, but the caster curse is there definitely. But SGB kind of trying to reel in a rotation here, maybe a catch and dribble, but nothing doing there. Big 50 is going to send them back in their own end, but Vihas counterattack. The chip past one. They're going to have an open net chance, but SGB there on the spawn to keep this thing alive. But here we go, SGB straight to the backboard. There was almost a chance. Joseph is, man, that was a close one, but we do see overtime.
My, oh my. On both ends, it wasn't just one end. There was a scoring opportunity on both ends there as time looked to expire. Now we are in overtime. And my goodness, you are right. We almost had a caster curse indeed, but it's looking like both of these teams understood the assignment and they were like, you know what? We want to push in the distance. We want to go a little bit farther. We want to show these viewers what we have to offer. Let's see what they can get going here as it gets sent downfield. SGB kind of mislocates it there. Vihas gets it off the top of the hood, but unfortunately Squashy cannot get there.
Yeah, such a close chance there. Both teams have really been seeing a lot of pressure here in overtime. SGB is going to have a counterattack. It's a 2v0. Net wide open. SGB is there to take advantage of the over-rotation there. I believe that was Vihas, just couldn't reel in that touch. Uncontrolled rotation. Joseph, it'll be, yeah, no problem, taking game one.
It'll also be SGB with a hat trick. You cannot overlook that level of play. SGB turned the script around and was able to put his team on top. 8 shots on goal, just himself. I want to point that out. Unfortunately, his teammate was not able to get a shot on goal, but was a supporting cast, getting an assist. And if you look on the flip side, you had 5 shots on goal for Dumb and Dumber. Man, SGB was all over the place, a little bit of everything all at once. And just like the name, yeah, no problem, is kind of what played out there at the end.
Yeah, I mean, they went down. We saw them go down early for the first goal. Dumb and Dumber scored first, but they were able to bounce back from it. We saw them put a lot of pressure. It's easy to get frustrated when you see a lot of shots being put on net. SGB, 8 shots. The majority of those were in the first half of the game too. So Dumb and Dumber really held on as long as they could with the offense, or with the defense rather. But SGB, just too many shots, too much pressure for them to handle. And yeah, no problem. Again, ultimately just taking this first game in overtime. Both teams, again, so close. This is tier 3, so a lot of these players are the similar skill level. So that's the beauty of this thing. The Swiss League, you're not going to have the super high teams playing against the teams that are struggling a lot. Yeah, these teams are separated by a game in the series, but ultimately, they're only one win apart. So all 4 of these players are hungry to win. All 4 of these players are hungry to try and take each and every game that they can, because every game here matters. Again, this is a best of 5 for those just joining us, but game 1 goes in the favor of yeah, no problem. Dumb and Dumber trying to get back to work here. This ball already starting here in game 2.
I just want to point out that SGB's tagline is the calculator, and right there, calculated pass over to Squashy, and it hits the back of the net. Beautiful play there by Yeah, No Problem, and they are back up here again in game 2 of this series.
Yeah, it's a fantastic 50 to kind of facilitate that offensive play. SGB just kind of being that player, the standout player right now for Yeah, No Problem. Just kind of creating the plays, making sure, just trying to be as awkward as possible, but once again, facilitating plays is what SGB does, finding their teammate across the field. Squashy there to slam it in.
Absolutely. That was a beautiful setup. Once again, Squashy puts in the back of net. And now we're seeing a little bit of flip of the script as he had no problem. It's like, you know what, Squashy, it's your turn for the hat trick. Let's feed you. You know, kind of like Donkey Kong eating his bananas and throwing them around. He is making some noise and he's making it happen.
SGB just kind of being that standout player to try to just make this team as awkward as possible, doing just that. SGB, huge 50. That was a really close chance there, as Steezy was just looking for one on the offensive, and Vihaz just being the one to make it happen. We thought that it was going to be a possession in favor of no problem, but Vihaz, again, just there to be annoying and able to put it right in the net.
Yeah, that's what you like to see, is a nice turnaround defensive play that really just puts the defenders in a bad position and gives you an opportunity. And boy, did they capitalize right back in the game. It is now 2-1. Squashy tries to get across goal, but unfortunately Steezy's right there.
Still so much pressure. Yeah, no problem. Is just up too far, but Vihaz just couldn't reel it in there off the backboard. A little bit of an over-rotation is going to give SGB a chance, but once again, good acrobatics there from Vihaz to kind of get back in time. Squashy, it's going to be the last one for no problem. Once again, this is 2, so these guys have got to be careful with their over-rotating because they're going to be punished. SGB again, huge 50. Another one, Vihaz back to the right corner. This ball just kind of stalemating in the midfield thus far after that last goal, but no problem, still on top. That 50 cut just too much from Steezy. SGB back on offense. Squashy, the touch. Is it going to be enough to get it in the net? Yes, it will. It sneaks in the left side and just enough to score.
And I just want to point out, we got another hat trick. Squashy finding the back of net. 3 for 3, shooting 1,000. Boy, oh boy, that's what you like to see.
We talked about SGB so much last game. I'm not saying that they aren't holding up to that personality that they have had in this series thus far, but Squashy is kind of flip that script like you said. Just again, we saw them with about 200 points last game. Now we see them with 3 goals on 3 shots. Once again, both of these players are just putting on a show tonight thus far. Dumb and Dumber still definitely not out of it yet. We've seen a lot of chances from them. Unfortunately, execution doesn't seem to be their forte tonight. There's still so much time. Still much time to work with. SGB just kind of making that touch awkward. Vihaz is able to just make a touch there to the corner, trying to reel in that possession. But both teams, again, just kind of waiting for this ball. Maybe a touch back to the midfield, air dribble. Past one, Squashy, awkward 50 to the wall. Vihaz, maybe looking for Steezy in the midfield, but once again, Squashy and SGB linking up for those plays, maybe looking for each other down the field. The roller is going to be really awkward. It's going to be a wide open net, and SGB gets the first goal of the game.
He was feeding, and now he's been fed himself. This team is looking really good, and like I said before the series started, that 5 points was definitely, I think, the difference maker. I definitely think no problem was already in favor moving into this particular series, but Dumb and Dumber can still come back. This game is not over, and it is only game 2 of this best-of-5 series.
Yeah, and in that first game, we saw a lot of pressure from Dumb and Dumber, and right now we are seeing no problem slowly beat them down, slowly peel back that banana peel to reveal what's inside. We didn't really expect to see a lot of pressure like this from no problem, so now that we are seeing that, almost kind of peeling back that layer, as I said, we're kind of seeing what Dumb and Dumber is showing in the mistakes. We see there a little bit of a high rotation. Squashy there, again, take advantage of it. And right now, it just seems like no problem just seems to be the better squad right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you sit here and you talk about bananas, but I think it's more like onions. There's just multiple layers to it, if you ask me. I just think that there's so much depth to this game that these players are really starting to define themselves out there on the field. You know, they're going to pull out that inner Shrek mentality and really just take it over.
It's a big touch there to the side wall. Squashy, 5-1 lead in favor of no problem, but still a lot of pressure. Squashy, backboard. Nothing doing there. Vihaz that has the clear out, but SGB just trying to just slow this game down, play their game. Squashy again midfield, but I don't think they had any boost. They're going to have to turn back here. Vihaz just trying to get something going on offense here, but SGB, you see them just, you see the Dumb and Dumber squad just trying to just find each other in the midfield, but SGB and Squashy are just getting in there, interrupting those rotations, and just kind of making interceptions when they need to. That pinch just sending it straight wide of the net. SGB is going to have a good rotation here Squashy, hot on the press, looking for that one. Steals the boost. Turns around, but nothing doing there again. Big demos coming out from Dumb and Dumber. These guys are starting to get physical. It seems like it's starting to take a little bit of a toll on Yano Problem because the scoring has stopped. Good thing for them, but still, nothing doing on offense. You see that touch needs to be made. It needs to be at least put on the net. Otherwise, I'm not really convinced they're going to be able to compete with this Yano Problem team just yet.
SGB stumped at the goal. They are just throwing everything but the kitchen sink at them right now. You see it just coming from every level right now, and another one just wide of the goal. And I'm telling you, Yano Problem is looking really good in this series. And I'm not sure if Dumb and Dumber will be able to turn it around because the momentum is really starting to shift heavily in favor of Yano Problem.
Yeah, it just seems like they can't get that one step ahead. You said earlier, these guys, it's like a chess match. You see there's a nice goal. There's finally some pressure on the net. But like you said earlier, it seems like Yano Problem's playing that chess game just a little bit better. They're a couple moves ahead of what Dumb and Dumber has to put down on the table. But right now, it seems like Dumb and Dumber is just trying to find the answer. They're trying to get physical. It seems like it's worked. The scoring has stopped from Yano Problem. And for them, it's just kind of a go next situation. They're going to be on series point here. This is the time to really move. They are 1-2 on the season. Unfortunately for them, they are now on series point to go 1-3, and that is not a position that they necessarily want to be in here. But yeah, no problem is that force that they're going to have to reckon with for these next 3 games if they can make it that far. But they have a lot to tackle right now, and I'm not entirely convinced that they have that cohesive unit right now. But yeah, no problem is starting to show some signs of weakness as of the last couple of minutes in that game.
Yeah, I mean, even though they've showed a little bit of a crack in their shield, you really look at the durability that they have really put together in terms of their team dynamic. You went from SGB dominating game 1, 8 shots on goal, to Squashy going 4 for 4 in game 2. Didn't have a single shot on goal in game 1, but hits every single shot in game 2. Guy has not missed today. I'm just going to throw that out. So, I mean, unless you can get Squashy to miss and you can somehow make SGB just disappear off the field, Dumb and Dumber, you're going to have a really hard uphill battle here in game 3.
Uphill battle's just the perfect word for that, because right now Yano Problem has got the entire fruit basket. They've got the apples, the oranges, bananas. They have everything that they need to just get a win and make this thing as tough as possible for Dumb and Dumber to come back for. It just seems like the key here is on Dumb and Dumber. Yano Problem is putting down what they have. They're trying to advance to 3-1 here, and they're just putting everything they have on the table, and Dumb and Dumber just doesn't seem to have that answer quite yet. But honestly, though, I saw it in the last game, Joseph. We saw that they were starting to get physical. We saw the scoring stopped once they did. Squashy was just consistently removed from the field. The demos were getting really annoying to deal with, and it seems like it was starting to work. But this game so far, some pressure kind of going in both ways. Just started, but Vihas, offensive rotation, air dribble, trying to get it past SGB. The dunk, no good. Once again, that defense for Yano Problem just being really strong right now still.
Squashy going to come out with a little aggression of his own, leaves it up top for his teammate, but Vihas tries to knock it downfield. I think it is just shy of the goal. It is, in fact. Squashy continuing to try to put that pressure down, but Steezy is there, passes it over to Vihas, just out of reach, however. As the ball is still in front of Yano Problem's goal, we're seeing a lot more pressure coming out from Dumb and Dumber. And a little bit different strategies. We saw them come out with a little bit of fancy play there to start it out, but unfortunately, it did not play out in their favor. Yano Problem is starting to pick it up, and they're starting to slow it down here for Dumb and Dumber as we are now approaching 1.5 minutes into the game.
It seems like Yano Problem is just really comfortable right now in their rotations. It seems like Dumb and Dumber, what a shot from Vihas. Squashy is going to be forced to make a really uncomfortable save on that one, but both players on the blue team rather have been deleted off the field. They're going to be forced to go back, but it seems like Yano Problem is just playing really comfortable. Dumb and Dumber is just trying to scramble to see what they can get, just trying to find a goal. It seems like they're playing not to lose. Right now, Yano Problem, this is their game to win. This is their game to just show us what they have, show us that they deserve a 3-1 record right now. And right now, they're doing just that. They're being the better team as of right now. But Dumb and Dumber, again, we've seen them play the right cards. We've seen them find a couple goals, and it's just can they get those puzzle pieces in the right place and at the right time?
One thing I'm really liking to see so far is it looks like both teams are kind of utilizing the field a little differently for their team and allowing different types of opportunities that we weren't seeing before. You're seeing different levels of separation. You're seeing a lot of like long plays or passing plays or just different things happening on the field. And right there, SGB finding the opportunity to split it and make a play for his team. And yeah, no problem is up 1-0. Once again, the momentum is in their favor.
Momentum once again. Momentum that Dumb and Dumber really is going to need right now. Otherwise, again, they're on series point. So they are going to need everything they can get here. That's a midfield touch to Vihaz. It's another one back in favor of Squashy. But the bump, it's going to be really dangerous for them here. But again, just how quick these guys can recover, how quick they can get back on the ball is just too much for this Dumb and Dumber offense to deal with as of right now. But still, we are seeing both players just trying to work their way into the rotations, trying to cause that banana split that we just saw. There it is again. SGB is going to be the one to slot it in. Banana split, like I just said. Squashy's there to split the defenders.
I got to laugh because both these teams are literally yellow. So like a banana, they did in fact split.
Yeah, both teams, again, seeing so much pressure. But again, yeah, no problem is just showing more of it. Steezy just trying to get something in favor of his team right now. The demo, we see them finally, their first demo recorded for this game 3, still on series point. Yeah, no problem, just trying to play as much defense as they can with that one insurance goal was really nice for them. Squashy, dangerous touch. SGB there to reel it in. And it seems like every touch that is made that may be a little bit lackluster, maybe a little bit kind of out of taste for no problem. It just seems like Dumb and Dumber isn't quick enough to get there to punish them for it. We see a high rotation there. Steezy a bit slow to get back, and SGB has all day to shoot, and they're going to do just that. 3-0 lead for yeah, no problem.
I'm going to have to go and grab some more hats here in a moment because that is our third hat trick tonight. Every single match, yeah, no problem, a player's had a hat trick. SGB is shooting 1,000 right now. Just like Squashy. I mean, I got to get, you know those oversized hats that you can buy? I got to go get me one of those.
You know, like the cheese head, but like a banana head.
Bro,
because these guys are in orange cars.
Don't. He said the wrong thing. He said the wrong thing. I got the cheese, don't you worry.
Go get your cheese hat. Go get your cheese hat. Yeah, no problem. With another hat trick. So much pressure needed for Dumb and Dumber. Now SGB off the backboard. 3 goals in their favor. Still, Dumb and Dumber, series point. A minute to work with, though. There still is time. This is 2v2s. But the time to work is now. That touch off the sidewall. Steezy just can't seem to reel it in there. Vihaz, a one-off rotation. Not going to be enough for them to start an actual offensive attack there, but sidewall maybe back in favor. A little bit of an overcommit, but that touch just really dangerous. Going to be enough. SGB just trying to slot it in. Actually, Squashy is going to be there. Squashy is going to get a first goal of the game, and ultimately, if that isn't it, I think that's the nail in the coffin.
Can I just point out that, like, last match, they fed Squashy until he got his hat trick, and then SGB scored, and now SGB got his hat trick, and Squashy fed him, and then he finally scores after. It's like they had their strat, man. They're like, all right, hat trick per game or nothing. Like, that's it. All or nothing.
Yeah, this team has just been so good this entire series. They've been playing so consistent. Both, I want to say the last 2 hat tricks have been on a 100% goal ratio. Fortunately, we do see Vihaz dropping out of the game, but this is what the focus is on. Yeah, no problem. We'll advance to 3-1. They played so well, Joseph. So many goals on just a couple more shots. Their shooting percentages have been fantastic tonight. 5-0 win for yeah, no problem. What a wonderful series for them.
Absolutely. I honestly, like I said, I was 100% sure which way to go. When you looked at the stat line, it was fairly even. But those 5 points really, you know, it seems like yeah, no problem really just has it together a little bit more. It seems like their chemistry is really on point. And that's why we got to pull out the hat tricks right now. You know, we got to pull it out because these guys were slicing it up out there like Jesus Christ. My goodness, it was amazing.
That was just both players have done fantastic in this series. 3 hat tricks every game. Yeah, no problem. Commanding win for them. But what else can I say there? But that's just a yeah, no problem victory. I mean, you can't really ask for much better of a performance for them. Dumb and Dumber, they pushed as much as they could. They tried to play as physical as they could. And they tried to just interrupt the rotations. But that unit that yeah, no problem just brought onto the field tonight was just too much for them to work with. But one player, we saw them start out the first game with a fantastic hat trick. They finished it with another hat trick. It's SGB. Welcome. Congratulations.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Nice after what happened last week. Last week was a bit of a cluster for us, and we were stepping on each other's toes, and we put everything back together today and just played our style of Rocket League again.
Yeah, that. You guys did a great job of doing that. I mean, we saw this is the place to do it too, is on the main stream. Show everybody else what you guys have to offer. You said that you guys had struggled a bit last week. What was kind of the goal in going into tonight? You see a team that is a little bit worse of a record than you. Like, what's kind of the mindset going into tonight?
Mainly, just keeping our heads and playing our game. The big thing that we do well together is find each other in space, and we do a good job of keeping teams pressed. So if we can keep the other team pressed and not be too stretched on our end, we usually can find each other on passes, and a good example of that is just flipping something across the backboard real quick. We know the other person's going to be there, so our biggest concentration was just not to get lost.
Absolutely, and personally for me, I mean, it's less of a question and more of a statement. I mean, to me personally, it looked like you guys were just out there having fun. Like, there's no other word that I think I could use other than the word fun. You guys were out there and you were commanding the field. You were holding on to things the way that you needed to. Like I said, it's not always about, the ball and making sure the ball is in front of your car. It's about that field dominance and making sure that you know where that ball is at, making sure you know where your teammate is at, making sure you know how to orchestrate yourselves on the field. And tonight, it really looked like you guys had it all together, SGB. And I definitely look forward to seeing what you guys are going to continue to do going forward. But like I said, mine was less of a question, definitely more of a statement, because I feel that's exactly what you did out there on the field.
Yeah, I feel like we made a statement of having fun for sure. Ultimately between him and I, we took a good mental reset after last week. After being dominated, that was not fun for us. And we both kind of fell apart, and we worked on that and just started having some fun with it. And obviously that showed.
Yeah, without a doubt. It seemed like you guys were just really comfortable. It seems like the other team, they were pretty skilled, but everything they threw at you, it just seems like you guys were ready for it. It seems like you guys were just, like you said, out there having fun, and that's just the best way to play, and that's what we promote here at LOS Champs. But again, congratulations on the win. It's a big one, kind of gets you guys back in the upper echelon of Tier 3. Floor's open to you. If you have any shout-outs, anything you want to say?
Keep it consistent and give our Coach Pancake a good shout-out. And, Squashy played a heck of a game tonight, had a couple of great saves, and, we'll continue having fun with it, and appreciate you guys very much for putting on Season 1.
Of course, that's what we're here for at LOS Champs. Thanks again, SGB, for coming in. Congratulations on the win. Hopefully we'll see you again another time. But folks, that's SGB, the winner for tonight, the MVP of the series. And again, congratulations to ya, no problem. Joseph, fantastic series.
Absolutely. That is the kind of series that, when you wake up in the morning and you're looking at your lineup for the day and you're just not really 100% sure of what to expect, you prepare in other ways. You eat your Wheaties, you go for that morning jog, you maybe do a little bit of a workout, whatever it is that you need to do, you make sure you get a good lunch, whatever it is, and you get your mental prep. Like he said, it was about the mental preparedness that got them set for this week. And, that equated to them having fun. So I think we're going to take a quick break real quick, and we'll be back here in not too long, so hang out.